Hello, Codebase family. Today we start a new series on PyQt, specifically PyQt5. What then is PyQt? PyQt is a Python library, of course. What it does is it provides us with a set of graphical user interfaces. That is, interfaces just like PyCharm's own that we can interact with graphically. And this also provides components for building desktop applications. It is a binding for the popular Qt library. That Qt library is written in C++, and in fact, it is used a very powerful framework. Software like VLC Media Player was the graphical user interface was built with Qt, so you can imagine how powerful it is. And PyQt5 allows us to develop and create applications with modern and responsive user interfaces. And it also provides advanced features like multimedia, networking, and other types of programming like database programming. It has support for all of that. And it also has a wide range of widgets. The widgets are all the elements you interact with on the screen, the buttons, the text inputs, output fields, the dial, all the elements we can interact with graphically. Qt provides a wide range of widgets that we can use, and it is also very easy to learn, and it makes a great choice for beginners and experienced developers who want to create cross-platform desktop applications. So how then do we get started? Of course, we need to install the library onto our PC. So let us get to PyCharm and take it from there. Here inside PyCharm, you see that I've created a brand new project. There's nothing here but the window creation folder and the main.py. I have not even run the file, so you can see the top here. There's no file in the configuration. So what we do is to install the package. Well, come to my PyCharm terminal here, and you type pip install, and then capital P, small y, capital Q, small t, and then 5. So PyQt5, and then I press enter. And in a few minutes, it should install PyQt onto my system. For some of you, you may get an error if you come to the PyCharm terminal to install Qt. You may see some red arrow popping up on your screen. If that happens, you can use your command prompt and use the same command pip install PyQt5. It will work. If it doesn't work, that means you probably don't add Python to part. You can also try other terminal tools that you have, like the Windows terminal or Windows PowerShell. If all of them doesn't work, you can come to this place where you see the Python 3.8 just at the bottom right of the screen. You click on it and then go to interpreter settings. Here on this page, you can click this plus icon here, and then you can search for PyQt5. You can also install it from here. Just this one, you can install it. Then we can start. So now that I have mine successfully installed, I will minimize my terminal for now. We'll go through the basic code to create a window in PyQt5. There is also PyQt6 I forgot to mention, but the 5 just works fine, and that will be the focus for this series. Sometime we might switch to the 6, or we have a new series on that one also. You have to go through a few steps to create a window, and I put them all in this note up here. We first create a kill application object, which I will explain soon what it is, and then we create the window and show the window. Simple, right? Let us just get into it. First, we need to do the import, so we import, or let me say, from PyQt5, let me import I want to simplify things here. So from PyQt5.qt widget import, and let me import kill application first. And then let me import kill widget. I will explain what they are very soon. And then before then, I forgot I need a sys library, so import sys. We will need it very soon. And then the steps, we have to create an application object. So app, which you can name it anything, equal to kill application. And inside here, we pass the system.argv, which is to tell Python that whatever thing is needed or whatever, all the things that is needed to run the application, it should get it for us and then use it to run it. But in case you are wondering what the sys.argv is, we can print that one alone onto the screen. Of course, we comment this line out, and then we print sys.argv, and then run it and see. You see that the argv is just a list that is returning the file, a part of the file. So the file itself, which is the main.py, of course, that's the only file this application depends on, since it's the only file in the system. So if we are not really dealing with so many things that the app needs, we can even put an empty list here and it will still work. But for now, let me keep it at argv and I'll later change it to a list. So now that we have our application instance, what we do is we create a window object. And in Qt, all the widgets are top level widgets. That means a single widget. When I say a widget, it's just a button, any of the interactive elements on the screen. So a single widget can form its own window. And if that is also confusing, I will explain it with code very soon. So the window object, which I'll call window, you can call it anything. For now, equal to kill widget. And then we show the window object, of course, so window.show. And finally, we use the system sys.exit, and then we pass in the application, and then .exec. This exec with the underscore. This is all we need to create a simple window in PyQt5. So if I run this code, you see that this window opens up here. The title is Python. It doesn't really look like, it doesn't look really great, but that is it. It's just a basic window we can maximize and all that. This is the kill widget that we use. Is I think the main class, a widget that we can also inherit. In Qt, I forgot to mention, but we can build our custom widgets so using this kill widget class. I think so. But what I said about the elements or the widgets are top level elements. If I import a widget like the button, which is called the kill push button, it's also a widget. I can change this place to the kill push button, and inside here I can pass an optional parameter like the text that should display on the button. So click me. When I run this code, you will see that another window appeared, but this time around it was not like as big as the other one, but it has a button that says click me. I can click on it. Of course, nothing happens. But this is the full window, and it's the button that is the full window. That is what I meant by saying that the widgets are top level elements. They can be used to create individual windows on their own. And of course, if our application is made up of, it's just, let's say for PyCharm interface, for example, you can create a widget for all of a window for all of these. And to prove to you that this is not the best way to create a window, except under very special circumstances, I will import another widget called the QMainWindow. This one is like the field we use, we type passwords in. If I create another window 1, so let's say window 1, equal to QMainWindow, and in here I'll not put any text. If I put any text in here, to be the default text that will be in the entry when the application starts. So window 1 dot show. You may think that it will bring one big window and then put all the application, all the elements inside, but that will not be the case. You can see that I have two windows here. Sorry. One here, this is the line edit window, and this one is the button. So if we want to create an application that is made up of multiple widgets, we cannot use this option, of course. It will create individual widget windows for us. As I said, the widgets are top level elements. So that brings us to the third way of creating a window, where we use the QMainWindow object. Instead of the Q widget or the individual widget, we use the QMainWindow. So let's import that one too, the QMainWindow. The Q application is just like the application. Let's take it as the engine or the core of the application. Let's just take it like that. And the QMainWindow is the window that can house multiple widgets. So instead of creating individual widgets to get into programs like we just saw, separate windows, we can put everything in a QMainWindow, and then the application will run with a single window containing multiple widgets. We can say now that the window equal to QMainWindow and window.show. Now when we run it, you will still see the old window that we saw, just that this one is not a widget, it's a main window. So we can add in multiple elements like btn equal to kill push button, and then in here we can declare some things. One is the text that will come on the button, so click me, and then we can specify where the button should go. In this case, we want it to go inside the window. When we run our code, we see the button click me inside the window, not as a window itself. We can also go ahead and declare the line edit, edit, kill line edit, which will also be inside window. So we can see that the edit was also created and added to the window. Of course, it has rendered on top of the button, so what we can do is to move it by some distance, 100, and then let's say 300. When we now run it again, of course, we moved this so far. So we can see the button and then the edit. They are all on the same, in the same window and not on their separate windows. So the QMainWindow option is mostly what you will use, or we will use here to create application. But you will mostly not see it this way. What you see most tutorials, and especially the ones we do here and the codes you may see online, do is that they will create a subclass of this QMainWindow and then use it rather. So let's do it that way. So the subclass will now replace the window object, and all the other code remain the same. So we can create a class of my app, which will be a subclass of the QMainWindow, and then in here we define our init function, and then we call the superclass. We want to activate the QMainWindow object itself. And that is it. We have just inherited from the QMainWindow object. So down here we can write the code that we saw before. App equal to Q application. That one will not change. We can put in an empty list or sys.agree, which one ever will work. But the sys.agree is the standard practice. Since this is the only file, we can put in an empty list. Then now our window will be equal to the my app. and window.show. And then sys.exit. We want to call this function also run it. Now when we run our code, you should see a blank window like we have always been seeing. And the advantage of using this style is that in here we can put whatever things that we want to put here, all the customizations, all the signals and slots, the functions that we want to call when certain buttons are clicked, and all that. You can put them inside the main the My Class app. And also, one of the things that you see mostly done is that we put the entry check there if __name equal to __ main. Before, we mostly see it being done this way also. And if you are wondering why or what this __ name something is, I have a tutorial on it explaining it into the tiniest detail, so you can check the link in the description to that video also. That will be the end for this session on how to create a basic window using the PyQt Python library. The next videos we will look at the layout, the widgets that we have, and how we can combine them to create beautiful applications. I'll see you another time with another video.